The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, a Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 204, being recorded on May the 19th, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Jesus Gonzalez, also known as Jesus Walks a Lot. Today, I'm joined by the crew plus one from the Great White North Canada land itself, where the Tim Hortons flows through the rivers and the mooses are ridden everywhere.
We do. We ride our mooses everywhere.
Ryan
What's going
Gibson.
on, everybody?
Tim Hortons.
Another episodes of Horrible Gamers. Let's do this.
Gibby, 77777. And from the West Coast, the best coast, California, my friend Henley Merrill, Gunny Chief is back. Welcome back, Gunny.
It's good to be here, guys. Glad to see your smiling faces.
Ooh, yeah. And from the Pacific Northwest, Washington State, not as good as Oregon, but pretty close, my friend Mark Cox, also known as Wingman709 from this Xbox Live podcast, is here. Welcome, Wingman, to the show.
Greetings, salutations, and you're not my friend anymore, Jesus. But yeah, woo! Thanks for having me on.
Wow, thank you for letting me know on the show. I appreciate that. Welcome, everybody. Let's get the
unfriend.
Oh man, let's get the show started, guys. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can over at _horrible gamers. Leave a review on iTunes at the end of the show, or right now. You can just pause it and leave a review on iTunes. Head on over to our Facebook community over at Horrible Gamers Podcast Community. If you find our page, there's a link to the group in our page, Horrible Gamers Podcast. And the group is called the Horrible Gamers Podcast Community. It is a close group, so that means anything you post in there is only viewable by the members of the group and all that good stuff. You can always email us at feedback@horriblegamers.com to give us any feedback you have for the show, or message us on Xbox Live, Facebook, or wherever else you can find us. And let's go through our Patreon list real quick. We got a new Patreon this week, guys.
I saw that.
Yeah. So if you head on over to patreon.com/horriblegamers, like Jonathan Hall did, Alan Maybe, Joshua Wolf, Evan Tanaka, John Jerome, Adam Sunday, and Clint Thiel, and the newest member, Dirty Bite. You get a shout out on the show like they just did. Yeah. So thank you guys for being supporters of the show. We really appreciate the money you give us every month. It goes towards the show, and we're going to continue to bring improvements to the show, and we're going to bring lots of live shows next month during the E3 week. Lots of live shows, so get ready for that craziness. I don't know if I'm ready for that again, guys. That was rough last year.
Wait, you going to join us again? You should join us for the Microsoft conference.
You should.
I might be able to.
Yeah.
Is it Sunday?
It's on Sunday, isn't it?
It's confirmed.
Sunday morning or Sunday evening?
Morning. No, afternoon.
It's afternoon.
Yeah, like middle afternoon. Yeah. It's evening if you're on the East Coast, but we're not on the lame East Coast. We're not there.
Yeah, shut your damn mouth.
Our intro song is done by Fowler and Twistix. It is called The Breakout. Our outro song is done by Broke for free. It is called Night Owl. So check them out. And let's get into video games. Video games is what the people want to hear, and they want to hear what we've been playing this week. Lots of games that I played
Jesus,
this
I
week.
was told that the people really want to hear us talk about a bunch of bullshit for 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
So why don't we do that instead? Let's not.
No video games this week?
No video games this week.
Oh, well, fuck. Okay, well, today I went to McDonald's. And
we all did. Hey, Jesus.
Oh boy, I want to hear more.
Everyone except for Gunny went to McDonald's.
Really?
I went Friday. I went yesterday. Friday is my McDonald's day. I went and got the big breakfast with hotcakes.
I had
you off the podcast now.
I had the egg white delight muffin.
What the hell is that?
You don't have
like
the egg
that
white
one.
delight? That's bomb, dude. It's like an English muffin, perfectly toasted with some egg whites, a slice of ham,
You don't get your yolk in the middle.
Yeah, you don't get the yolk.
I think it tastes better.
It tastes way better.
Yeah, I actually don't. I'm not a big fan of yolk. Not solid cooked yolk. I like runny yolks. But not,
me too. Yeah.
But I got that this morning. It was pretty good, guys. And the hash brown was nicely toasted good. It was hot. Got my Coke right here. We're good. We're good to go.
Coke. You eat Coke for breakfast?
Fuck yeah, I drink Coke. I'm American, motherfucker. Drink Coke for breakfast.
Fucking get a coffee.
That is my afternoon evening.
Man, get a coffee.
Why not an orange juice?
Orange juice.
Coca-Cola, baby. I usually get an apple juice or a milk.
You get a Coke too, Wingman?
Yeah.
That's right.
Coke and a smile, baby.
That's right. I gotta say, McDonald's Coke is probably the best Coke ever. It's been scientifically proven they have the best Coke. It's just the truth, guys. Scientifically proven.
Oh, you know what I noticed the other day? I don't know if you guys have this down there or not, but you know Barks?
The root
beer?
Yeah.
Make a fucking cream soda now.
Really?
Ooh. Oh, it's a white cream soda. I fucking love that shit.
It sounds good. I need to find me some.
I got it out of one of those, you know, the Coke Freestyle machines.
Yeah.
Yes. It was one of those, and I was like,
oh yeah, actually, I have had that before because I remember seeing it. Yeah.
But then, fucking, we were ordering pizza the other night. She's like, oh, they have Barks fucking cream soda, and I was like, what? Yeah. Sure enough, I ordered some. They make them in cans now. Nice.
On the Freestyle machine, they have the orange cream soda.
Oh,
that one's so good, dude. Oh man.
Soda. I don't think we have enough of those in our area.
The Freestyle machines are the best, dude.
Places.
Like
most of the new restaurants around here have them.
Yeah, like our Round Table Pizza has one. Our Safeway stores have them.
I think almost every fast food place in my town now has a Freestyle machine, except for like Dairy Queen. They still have like the old school fountain, but everything else has a Freestyle machine now. It's the future, man. Freestyle machines, 100 flavors.
I remember my brother, who's up in Washington, up in Olympia. I remember him telling me about him a long time ago, and I'm like, I don't even know what that is. So they must have started up there.
Freestyle machine?
They used to only have them at like the big movie theaters up here, but now they're everywhere. Now they're in all kinds of different places.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Right,
anyways,
let's get into video
not
games.
Bullshit about fucking
McDonald's and
let's talk about
food.
Video games. Guys.
Food was first, now video games. All right.
God of War. God of War is my game on the list here, number one game on the list. So I went back to it. Was it Thursday night, Wednesday night a little bit? Mostly Thursday. I went into it and I was like, I'll play like an hour or two. It was like 4 or 5 hours later. I was still playing it. And I realized something. I was having a tough time with the enemies, but that was because I was doing a lot of side quests. I was running into like these things that were like way overpowered for what I had. And then, so I was like, you know what? I'm done with the side quests for now. I did like 1 or 2, and then I went back and I got back to the main story. And like I'm on the 3rd mission, Ryan. I don't know if you're there yet, or like the 3rd or 4th, where you are going to an ice realm.
Did you get your blades yet?
No.
Oh, jeez.
I went to an ice realm where the giant is laying on the ice. He's dead.
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
And I went to that area, and I was slaying everything like nothing.
Don't touch that ice, dude. Just fucking leave him alone.
Dude, everything was so easy to do. It was just, I was killing the fuck out of everything.
Oh, okay. I thought you were having problems there.
No, dude, everything was super easy.
Because I was going through the same thing you were, Jesus, where it was like, I'm doing all these side quests, and I'm starting to have problems, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I said, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to just keep going down the storyline path. Mm-hmm. And then it was fine after that. But, yeah, I remember running into he's like one of those rock dudes, right? And you have to hit him in the chest.
Oh, I've ran into those guys like 3 or 4 times.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what you were talking about.
Oh, those guys are easy. I figured those guys out pretty quick. You got to throw the axe at their chest or whatever when they open. Yeah. And then their pieces fall out, and you pick them up, and you throw it at him, and then you jump on him, and you punch him in the face or whatever. Yeah. See, those guys are pretty... Like, I adapted myself to fight these, like, super overpowered fucking people. Then when I got back to the main game and I was fighting these
just plowing through it.
Yeah, I was fighting these level 2, level 3 characters. I was like, these guys are so easy. Where's the challenge in this? I went through that whole mission. the only people that put up a fight were the two brothers at the end of that mission that show up.
The lightning guy?
Yeah, the two god brothers or whatever. They show up and they're like, they're gods themselves and you're fighting them or whatever. That was kind of like not really a challenge. It was more of, okay, I know what I got to do. I just got to keep hitting them. It's just they had a big health bar. That's the only reason it took me forever to beat them. But I beat them on my first try.
That's what I was talking to you about last week. That's where I was last week.
That's where you were last week? See, so I beat that now, and I got my little ice shard that can open the seals now. Mm-hmm. I got that, so now I left that area, and I see an ice seal door in front of that area, and I run to it, and I open it, and I'm like, and you're going through there, and the little boy is like, I have a bad feeling about this. And then Kratos is like, what kind of bad feeling, boy? I just think there's going to be something really bad down there. And then like the little head on your belt, he's like, oh, well, this is kind of a prison, you know, there could be something down here. And then you get down there and there's like some crazy ass thing down there and I can't beat it. I cannot beat that thing. I'm like, holy shit, that thing, I stayed up till midnight on Thursday, even though I had to be up at 4 a.m. I stayed up till midnight, fucking for 1 hour straight trying to defeat this thing. I couldn't beat it. I couldn't do it. For 1 hour straight,
sometimes you just gotta walk away.
I just kept retrying, keep reload checkpoint. And it was like, dude, this thing is so hard. I cannot do it. Even when I go into rage mode, like, I barely do any damage to it. It's just destroying me, man.
Level up. You need to level up.
So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to leave that area and go get some better armor and stuff and come back and kill that fucking thing because I want to kill it because now it pissed me off. But I gotta say, the game is still awesome, dude. I fucking love God of War. I honestly don't know. Playing it that night, I was sitting there realizing I don't know how any game can beat that game for Game of the Year so far.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
I don't know.
You know me, I'm not a fucking PlayStation shill. I'm not, that game is fucking fantastic. It's just good. And I've had my issues with it where I put it down and walked away from it, but I always come back to it and I start having a good time
everything
again.
is like, there's no loading screens. The game just keeps going. It's so immersive, dude. It's so immersive because you're constantly there's never a loading screen. There's never a break in the game. You're always running into something, finding a new puzzle to solve, finding a new thing to loot, finding a new area, a hidden area.
Or finding out that something that you got lets you get all these things that you couldn't figure out how to open before.
Exactly. I fucking love it, dude.
And Jesus, it's going to just keep going. Like, I'm a little further than you, and there's some shit coming, and you're going to get some new stuff that's going to show you, going to let you get into some of the stuff that you've been going, what the hell am I supposed to do here?
Yeah. So I got like some green armor now because I crafted some badass looking. It's called like, I think it's legendary or epic. Some like the purple level. I crafted some armor there. So I got like the pants and like the top armor piece on that. So my Kratos is pretty leveled up, but that thing kept killing me. So I'm thinking I have to come back even more leveled up to fight that thing. But that's probably what I'm going to do today. I gotta say, man, the game doesn't let up. It just keeps going and going and going and going. And every time, like, you think you've reached the plateau of what you're going to experience, like, it's going to be the same from here on out, and it's never the same. The dialogue is always changing. I love the dialogue the little dwarves bring when you meet them, the dudes from the shops. Like, hey, I can't believe you let my fucking brother touch this thing, and then they start talking shit to you. And, there's the one brother who's like, he's all nice and educated, and the other brother's like an asshole. He's like a fucking just cussing you out all the time, and then the other dude's like all nice. I love how the difference between them and their brothers, and they're completely different from each other.
Dude, the kid flips out on one of them.
Oh, does he? Yeah. So I went I did a side mission where you have to collect some bones to try to contact the dead realm.
Yeah,
and Kratos is like, we're not gonna do this. When the guy's proposing to do the thing, he's like, we don't have time for your stupid quest, Ghost. We're leaving. We're on an important quest ourselves. And the little boy's like, oh, come on, Dad. I want to talk to Mom. What if we could talk to Mom? And he's like, boy, don't talk to me like that or something like that. And he's like, come on, Dad. He's like all begging him. And Kratos finally gives in. He's like, fine. If we run across these bones, we'll bring them back to you. But that's it, like. So then of course, I'm like, this looks pretty cool. Maybe they will get to talk to the dead mom. So I went and did that side quest right away. And you come back and something completely different happens. And at the end, the little boy's like, go ahead. Just say it. Say it. I told you, boy. Sure enough, like Kratos is like, I told you, boy. I was fucking laughing. I was like, oh my god, this dialogue is so amazing, dude. The little boy just seems
better,
real.
Dude.
Yeah,
it gets better, crazy. Jesus. Because it's like the kid grows up, and gets this attitude against his fucking father, and the quirks that go back and forth are fucking hilarious.
Yeah, like, so I love it, dude.
Boy, you listen to me, boy. The kid just all defiant, like just. Oh.
I love the story where I was going to the lake, and you know how they're always telling stories when you're on the boat. It's like, tell me a story, and then the little ancient guy will be like, back in the day, Thor fought this person, and this happened, and Odin, and blah blah blah. He's telling like the lore of the land or whatever. There was a story where he was talking about how Odin killed his father because his father had killed his grandpa, and it's just like a line of kids killing their parents because they're always making an oath to the gods or something, where they vow to get a vengeance for whoever they got killed, so they have to kill the people, So, and then he's like, well, why did he kill his father? Well, because he was mad at him. And then the little boy's like, sometimes I'm mad at my dad and I don't try to kill him. And then Kratos is like, I'd like to see you try. I was fucking laughing. And then like we went and we did like a whole mission, and we get back on the boat, and then Kratos is like, why are you mad at me, boy? And he's like, what? He's like, why are you mad at me sometimes? You said you were mad at me earlier. He's like, I don't want to talk about it. He's like, tell me, boy. He's like, I said I don't want to talk about it. It was like, like Kratos kind of like thought about it like during that mission. He's like, oh fuck, what if he does try to stab me in the back or something? You know what I mean? It was good, dude. I love the story. I love the game is so good, and then it looks good, and then the photo mode is really good. I was messing around with the photo mode the other day. The expressions you can make Kratos do is funny, dude, and you can make him change their facial expressions when you're taking a photo. It's pretty good. Yeah, you can make him smile because they're always serious. You can make him smile or look scared or whatever, or look surprised. It's good. I like the game. So, man, if you haven't played God of War, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely a game that any gamer should play.
Definitely, it's so good.
It's an amazing game. Wing, it's too bad you sold your PS4, man, I know. But this game is definitely worth having it.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Oh, you gotta try it, Wingman. Oh, I just wish you would see it.
I got Gems of War.
I was going to say a much
better game.
Oh, man. But yeah, that's my first game on the list. There's a few other games I have on here. But go ahead, Ryan. What's your games? What are your games?
Well, other than God of War, because I've been playing a lot of that this week, I've also continued to play a little bit of Super Mega Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
That game's great. It's fun. It's baseball. I don't know. I don't have anything else new to say about it. I've said it before, but I'm still playing it, and it's a baseball game. And you guys know I'm not a sports guy.
No, I'm surprised you're still playing it.
It's actually a lot of fun. And other than that, I've been playing some Death Road to Canada.
Hell yeah.
I still haven't made it to Canada. I've gotten close a couple of times, but it gets so hard in the end, man. It's like I had a whole group of guys. There was like 4 of us, and I'm like, okay, I got a group of 4. I got lots of food. I got lots of gas. Things are going good. And I was like, I might actually make it. And I think I got to like day fucking like the last 3 days. So it's like the little maple leaf, and it has a number beside it, and that's how many days you have to get through, I think. Anyways. And I got to there was only 3 left, and I was like, fuck, I'm going to make it. And then I walked into this siege that was like, the zombies are are erratic and they're very angry and aggressive. And I was like, oh no. And the horde is huge. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, this is going to be crazy. And sure enough, I went in and all 4 of my guys died in there.
Oh,
I was like, man, I was so close. So, but that game's really fun. If you're looking for something, really like a light indie game to check out, it might be worth at least take a look at it and see if you'd be interested in it, because
this reminds me of a phone
Oregon
game.
Trail, and then it's got this top-down sort of kind of like The Escapist, I guess, but it's more like a dungeon crawler when you're in that top-down. But you're these little pixel dudes, and you create the characters are random with random traits and all that kind of stuff. So. And then you meet people along the way, and they become part of your party, and they might leave your party, or they might turn against you, or they might be good for you, or help you out with something. Sometimes one of the crew members will leave, and he'll be like, hey, I got to go and do this other thing, but here, I'm going to show you how to do, because I'm good at mechanics, so I'll show you this mechanic thing, and he'll level up your mechanic skills before he leaves. So then your car might last longer and not break down as quick. So, but yeah, and Death Road to Canada.
I definitely see streamers having a lot of fun with this game.
Yeah. It'd be good for that, because it's like, you're going through a little story, and you can even, like I said last week, you can create characters as well, right? So like I made me and Kathy, but now I try to go with like just the random characters, because I want to see what different characters they can, you can get. And most of the time I find when I start out with myself and Kathy, we both die before the end, and then some other characters are in there. And it's been random a couple of times. I've actually showed up. I've been like one of the people that shows up when I don't start with myself. Like my character will show up along the way trying to get to Canada. So, yeah.
That's cool.
That's it. What about you, Gunny? What have you been playing?
I played a lot more this week than I have in recently in the last month, but first one's Pinball FX 3.
What you been playing in there?
I've been playing a lot of not Iron Man, but the Hulk table.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like I don't remember playing this. I didn't play it very often or too much the last time, but yeah, I think I did pretty good. I'm not that far from you, actually.
Oh yeah.
When I fired up my second game, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually pretty close to the top of my friends list. And I don't have a lot of friends that play this, so I mean, obviously King Jiggly's all the way at the top.
Yeah.
Or I don't even know if he's been playing that table, but
I don't.
One that I can actually.
He focuses on a table at a time, and he'll like just play that table until he gets like a top 100 score and unlocks the achievement and stuff. So he might not have played that yet.
Maybe I should
actually
mention
it. Speaking of Pinball FX 3, yeah, you should have just make your mouth shut. Speaking of Pinball FX 3 and the fact that Wingman's here, Wingman, I beat your Star Wars score that you had. I killed it. I think you had like 40 something. I think you had 40, and I got like over 100.
I knew it wouldn't stand long.
Yeah. That's a fun table though, man. I really like those new Star Wars tables. They're pretty fun.
I didn't play the new Star Wars table. Well, maybe I played one of them, and I've noticed also that how everything's kind of that cross play on Windows.
Yep.
And that's kind of like where I like to play the Pinball FX games, because this TV is just too large to play those kind of games, or it's just I'm constantly trying to follow that ball. And I think since it's not really so much, since you own most of them, it doesn't cross over to the Windows side of things.
No, yeah. The game share doesn't work with Windows.
But I think if I play the game on Xbox, it'll then kind of trigger something on the PC. I don't know. I haven't really completed that experiment or not. You know what I'm talking about? Where if I play your games on
your scores will be there, but I don't think you'll be able to download and install the tables.
Yeah, I thought it did. Like the last time when they first introduced Pinball FX 3, it was like, hey, you don't own these, but you can play them, just like it shows me on Xbox. But
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I just love all the, I'm more of that Marvel table person, and more Aliens.
Yeah.
The Aliens tables, I love those because I played those also on iPad.
Yeah.
So, and they're a lot more easier on iPad, where they're a lot less forgiving, where it's going to be, they're not going to go, in the out sides of the table, where it's like, oh, just kind of pop back in. You can just keep playing. So
Gotta get your nudge on, man. You gotta know how to nudge that table.
Yeah, and it's a little different, like on an iOS device, or like a mobile device.
Yeah,
where it's like, oh, you got to
it
get your
is.
finger all the way to the top and swipe left or right. But yeah, I love my Pinball FX3, and a little more Far Cry 5. I'm just playing, a mission here or a mission there, just during the week, and still having some fun with it. I got to a mission where you're supposed to kill 3 grizzly bears undamaged. And I'm like, oh, do I got to get the bow and arrow? Is that what I have to do? No. I went into the YouTube video. It's like, dude, just use like an assault rifle to kill the grizzly bears. And I was like, yeah. So
I didn't do that mission for that exact reason, because I was like, I don't have the bow and arrow, so I'm not going to bother with it right now.
Nope. It says don't even bother, because you got to shoot it like 4 or 5 times. And when I did that, I was shooting it with the bow and arrow. It says, no, you can't pick that up. It's damaged. I was like, this is bullshit. So yeah, just use an assault rifle.
Wow.
And the other thing is everything on the map shows black bear locations, wild black bear locations, or something like that. Well, on YouTube, it only shows like there's only 2 locations where you can go, and then it's going to be all black bears, but then the grizzly bear will randomly pop up. And I couldn't get like the last location to randomly pop a grizzly bear. And I just kind of gave up at that point. I think after like waiting 45 minutes or fast traveling back and forth. And I think the other one was get the skunks, but in that mission, you can get those pretty quick after like after the beginning of the mission, you just get the skunks really quick. But yeah, other than that, you know what I did? I just kind of walked around and just was walking through the woods and just doing random stuff and just making sure I'm like at each area so I can just get to, different fast travel points. So yeah. The other game I played was Terra, that new, well, it's not new to PC, but new to Xbox, that MMO on Xbox. Anybody else play this?
Yeah, I saw you playing it. I was going to jump in with you, but I saw you were in like a higher level crew, and I was like, I'm not going to bother.
Well, some random person invited me to the party, and I was like, hey, I can probably get some insight on this game. But yeah, so I think you level up fairly quickly, and it does remind me of that Neverwinter Nights style. It might be like also like Black Desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start off, and I like the character creation screen, and because you could be like a wood elf or a warrior, things like that. You can be more of a tank, and so yeah, I chose the more tank type warrior character, and it's kind of cool because I think I look like Thanos in a way, with just different things you can put on your character. Anyway, but yeah, I don't like how the game starts out. It's like, oh, go find this girl's doll, repair the doll, bring it back to the little girl, stuff like that. I was like, okay, I thought it would be more of that Neverwinter Nights, like, where it's like you got to go find the witch and kill her, something more interesting. But now I guess it's more Japanesey than I thought it was. But either way, I think the aesthetics and the art style look pretty good. Yeah, but it just kind of gets you through each different little missions. You level up fairly quickly because I made it to level 10 pretty fast within the first hour. Yeah,
that's when I saw you. You were level 10 or 11 or something like that.
Yeah, because every little mission that you complete, and everything's so tightly, in that little map that you're in, it goes pretty fast. But the enemies they kind of remind me how they're set up like a Skylanders type thing. and I only played that game with my kid when, back on the 360, where they're not all trying to attack you at once. They're kind of spread out, so you can just kind of walk up to them and use your sword and do special moves and attacks on them. So it does have that real-time combat, and it's not as fast as like a Neverwinter Nights game, or at least not with the heavy character that I'm using. But yeah, it's I tried to go back to it. What happened was I think I walked away and then it timed out on me for like this last mission that I was trying to do. There was like a boss fight where I was trying to fight this like Sparrow type character. And I thought, oh, this will be pretty cool. But then I went back and it was like, yeah, you want to continue that mission. Okay, yeah. But then everything was blank. So I'm like, okay, I must not be connected to the server. So I think I went in and unfollow that quest or whatever. And when I went back to start the game, I was level 1 again. I was like, what the fuck? So, yeah, I don't know what happened. My character's set back to level 1 again. I'm like, maybe it's not saving, or I don't even know. So I'm like, I just quit at that point. So I don't know what I did wrong. I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to hit the save button unless it's automatically saving like a normal MMO game. I don't know. Yeah. Check it out. I think, is it free to play? Not sure if we paid for it, if it was on Game Pass or, yeah. Not sure. Is that it, guys? Oh, sorry, I can't hear you, Ryan. Anybody else? There he is.
No, I'm back.
Okay.
Wing, what have you been playing, man?
There's only one game worth playing.
Oh, God,
And,
here we go.
And that is the one, the only Gems of War, which I have been sitting here for the last hour plus playing as I'm listening to you guys.
You mean Gems of Snore?
No, Gems of War, baby. I play this just about every day. It's fun. It's a great little match 3 with lots to do.
Yeah. No, I get it.
It's fun.
I get it. I mean, like, I can't get into it, but I can see how it would be addictive and fun to play. Just not for me.
I play it on my iPad.
It's fun. I enjoy it.
It is.
They did, if you haven't played in a while, they recently have done a new update. So now there's a lot of stuff in it I don't even touch. They added this thing about like pets. So you're trying to save these animals and you're going into battles against like different level. You start out at like a level 10, then 20 and 30. And I'm like, it's just crazy, insane how hard it gets. But there's a lot to this thing. They continually improve it and add new content constantly. It's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Did play some more Far Cry 5 this week. I've been playing with Comrade. Her and I have been working through several games, and I actually went and helped her complete the game the other day. And it was interesting because I had already beaten it, so I knew how it ended. So it was just kind of like just sitting there like waiting to hear her response to it. And so that was kind of fun. But we did get that one wrapped up for her. I played...
Are you guys moving on to Dead Island again?
I'm been waiting to go to Riptide, so I think Riptide will be next, hopefully.
I do own Riptide, Wing, so I might jump in with you guys again like I did with Dead Island.
Okay.
Just every once in a while.
All right. I'll definitely let you know. If you see us playing, definitely you hop on. Join us for sure.
Hopefully we'll have less connection issues. That was our biggest problem last time, was I could never connect to you guys.
Yeah, that game had issues even back when it was originally released. And I think Riptide had the same issues.
Yeah.
It seems to me, but we'll see. We'll try. We'll get it figured out. So, Gunny, Far Cry 5 is a great game. Keep at it. It's a lot of fun. There are some issues. I did get all the achievements in that game. I spent a lot of time in fact, let me pull this up because I thought I'm going to probably share this tomorrow. Let's see, where did that go? Let me pull this up in my email. I got an email from Ubisoft And they're like, "Oh, you completed," and I was like, "Yeah, I completed this a long time ago." But they actually broke down like the hours.
The amount of time
That's something. So my total. No, this wasn't. I beat the game quicker than this because I've done co-op as well. But I thought this was interesting. My total time played, according to them, was 52 hours and 33 minutes. That's how much time, and I've got more in since then. But I also caught 772 fish.
Holy
which
smokes.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, really? Because I know I did a lot of fishing when I was done with the game. I was like, all the achievements are, you can do it. There's just some investment into it. But I was like 772 fish. That was a lot more than I ever thought that I'd done. I was like, wow.
Jeez,
they said my total. Huh?
I was going to say, I think I'm at 20 fish right now.
Well, you're going to be fishing a lot if you want to get all the achievements in the game. You will be doing a lot of fishing, but
And I can tell you with Far Cry 4, which I loved, I actually went after those achievements because I really wanted to just take in every aspect of that game. The only ones I didn't get, and I think I mentioned it last time you were on here, Mark, was the something in co-op. So I still want to go back and play those on Far Cry 4 to get those achievements that were like co-op based.
okay. I don't think I got 4. I don't think I have 4 because I was game sharing at the time, and my game sharing partner had it.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, I would do that with you. But yeah, that's a lot of fish. And then my total kills, which this surprised me. Now you consider I caught almost 1,000 fish. I only killed 4,200 people in the game. Like I thought it would be a lot higher because you spend so much time like shooting people.
Yeah.
I also don't think that doesn't include kills that your companions make. I don't think so. Like if you have companions with you and they're getting kills,
Right.
those don't
They
count.
get
for
those.
that. Yeah.
Then I had 993 headshots.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for the season pass stuff to start coming out. So I'm excited about that. But it's a fun game. If you need help, hit me up. I'll run through it with you. It's I really like it a lot.
Yeah, I think I goofed when I went to the YouTube video because I was like, what is going on? I couldn't figure out what it was. And I wonder if other people were having problems with that because there is no real brown grizzly bear locations. They have to spawn or something like that. Because the normal game just has the black bears. And I think they were saying like, oh, you should have just waited in that area after you got the skunks and went up like this little trail and the one would have spawned.
I'm pretty sure that there is a grizzly bear area. I could have swore I found one and got that.
Yeah, and I probably should have searched other videos for it, but I just ended up like, I think just exploring, and I think that was where I just kind of like wandered off. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe I need to get back to the mission because I was just doing non-mission stuff and exploring every inch of the map just to check everything out.
Yeah, it's a really well done. I mean, it gets by the time I got to the third boss area up in the north, I did not care for those side missions. I thought those were lacking.
The wolf people, what are they called up there? The Wolf Gang?
The whitetails?
Whitetails.
Right?
Yeah, and I'm avoiding that
I was like,
area.
oh, this is so lame. This is so cheesy. The Whitetails are going to defeat these people. I was like, the Whitetails got their asses kicked, obviously, in the first place, so how could they defeat these people? I don't know.
So, yeah, that part I thought was like the worst was the northern area. That was I thought, the weakest part of the game. But, again, I'd put a lot of hours into it, so maybe I was just getting kind of burned out at the same time.
That's the part, Mark, that I can't get past. I'm just like, every time I go up north, I'm like, I just don't want to do any of this stuff.
Just blow up.
I haven't
the
finished
outpost.
Just play the story. Just play the story.
Yeah.
You got to see the ending, man.
Yeah. Wow.
You got to. It's
I feel like I don't care
not.
anymore.
It's not what you're gonna. That's not what you expect, man. I was like, what?
Yeah, I didn't expect that ending either. I was like, what the
I know.
fuck just happened? Yeah, it was.
Exactly. He's like, holy crap, It's just like, I was mind blown by what happened. So,
yeah.
you gotta finish it, Ryan. Like I said, just stick to the story. Do it in co-op. It'll go probably a little better. If you're not in co-op,
maybe I should try
get
that.
your companions. Get those companions out. Use them, and try not to get sidetracked on the side missions and stuff. Just stick to the main story and get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I found also when I'm fishing and hunting, I've opted for the guy in the airplane and because I thought I unlocked the perk to have 2 people, but I was like, man, I must have chose like the hero perk or whatever it was. So I've just been keeping the guy in the airplane, and he's been keeping the skies clear for me because they spot you like in the deep woods of when you're trying to hunt a deer.
Once you take out the bottom left, the southwest part of the map, you won't have problems with the planes anymore. They'll be randomly here and there, but once that's gone, the planes are gone for the most part.
Yeah, so I'm in Faith's area now, and they're still
That's my favorite area of the
bombard
game. I thought that was the best one in the game, that area.
Yeah, me too.
It's good.
See, I actually like John Seed's area.
John Seed was cool.
I enjoyed that. Yeah, just say yes.
Yeah. Say yes. Yeah, yeah.
But Faith's area was pretty cool too, because all of a sudden you're like, oh, there's a wolf coming at me, and all of a sudden it's like, oh no, it's a freaking moose. Oh no, it's a freaking grizzly bear.
It's a honey badger. Watch out.
Yeah,
that thing will eat your foot off.
I hate those things, man. But that was pretty trippy, man. It was like, this is messed up, I've never in my life taken drugs, but I can imagine like, okay, I think I kind of get what that would be like, I'm glad I didn't take drugs if this is what it's like, man.
Yeah, and I get it where I kind of get where the game is going when you get in the boat with the U.S. Marshal, that whole cutscene, and he's just going off about how you really need to like try this drug, like that's really what he's trying to say. Like what? Can I get out of this boat now? Yeah, good game. I'm still just trying to finish it, but same time explore every area of the game.
Yeah. So I got 2 other games I played. I did purchase Burnout Revenge. It's backwards compatible. Played some of that. Mainly I got it because I love Crash Mode. This is a game my wife and I used to pass the controller back and forth on and try to set the higher scores.
And it was like it would be groups of us all sitting on the couch, and we just like do Crash, pass the controller. They do a Crash, pass the controller, and it was just like sitting there all day long, just passing controllers, doing different intersections. Man, I miss that shit. I need to go back. How much was that, Wing?
$10.
$10? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, well worth it, man. And I was playing the races and stuff, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I forgot how fun this game is. It's a blast. It's a really good, fun racer.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. Games don't have to have bleeding edge graphics. They just have to be fun, and that's what this is. I mean,
that's right.
It's a 360 game, so it's not going to be like Need for Speed or whatever. It's not going to be a Forza title, but it is a lot of fun. And takedowns are just so much fun to do.
Yeah.
So
love it.
And then the last thing I've been playing, I think out of sheer boredom lately, is Homefront: The Revolution.
Why? Tell me why.
Because I'm bored. This game sucks. It's a terrible game. It's glitchy. The story sucks. The gunplay sucks. Everything about it sucks. But I'm playing it because I just don't. I don't know. It's an open world shooter.
They should have stuck with the original format of the game. I thought the original game was good, and they could have built so much on that story that they completely missed the mark. I think they were trying to go for like a a Destiny type game, or not a Destiny, but like a Division type game, where like it's an open world connected, with your co-op partners in the world or whatever. Like they're going for that, and that was not what Homefront the first game was. The first game was good. The story was good. The first game was
very linear. It was a very linear pathway. You just
the multiplayer was good,
and that's the problem. Everybody wants these open world games now.
I don't want that. I didn't want that for that game, at least.
No, I didn't either for that game. When I played the little bit of that game I played, I did not like it at all.
No, neither did I. And like I said, the first one had a good story. Like it made complete sense. King Jong-il died. His son took over. His son went crazy. He unified the Koreas. And then once he unified them, then he launched nukes at the U.S. or an EMP or something. He took out the power grid. Then he started invading other countries. Like first, he invaded Japan. Then he invaded, other countries over there in Asia. And then they launched an EMP against the U.S. And then they invaded the United States. And it made complete sense. I'm like, oh, fuck, this story just it makes sense. And they took over everything. The U.S. Army was losing the war because a lot of the technology is based on electronics. And when you get EMP'd, or your electronics are down. So, they were easily able to invade. The story made sense. There was a resistance that built up. It was good. And then you got this one where, in this one, they completely remade that whole story. They got rid of the other story. The other story doesn't exist in this one. Because when I launched this one the other day, and the story is completely different. When you watch the first intro video, it's a completely different thing. It's like they said, screw the first story. We're going to make a whole new thing. And it made no sense. It just didn't. I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah, see, I didn't like the original Homefront. I remember I think I gameflied it or something back in the day, but I did not like the story. I never got in. I did beat the campaign. It was 4 hours long. I remember it was really short, which was good because the game sucked in my opinion. But I just didn't like it, and I never did the multiplayer.
The multiplayer was good. It was solid. I didn't
care for it overall.
The multiplayer was this thing. They brought this thing with kill streaks like Call of Duty, right? But they brought what Call of Duty did. I think Modern Warfare 3 did it, where you could die, but it didn't matter because you were building up points, and you saved up the points to call in different types of kill streaks. Like you could call in a tank, you could spawn in a tank, or you could call in a Predator drone missile, you can call in an airstrike, you can call in a helicopter, you can call in different things with your points. You can drop armor for your teammates, so they could pick up some better armor plates to put on. You can call in a UAV, things like that. I thought the multiplayer was solid, and it's a shame they fucking completely got rid of the first game.
I don't understand is remember I played this when it first, did it come to Xbox, or I got it free on PC, or I don't remember. Mm-hmm. But either way, I was like, man, this is boring. The shooting is okay, but I think maybe they got to a point in development where they're like, yeah, let's do multiplayer and possibly add a co-op mode. Oh shit, we're out of money. Single player, just go out and shoot people, shoot enemies.
It's a bad game, I think.
But then it just kind of sucked, and then they were like, you know what? Let's do this in 4K HDR and put it on Xbox and PS4. Well, can anybody say polish a turd? Because that's...
I don't even think it's... Is it in 4K HDR?
I don't think it is 4K HDR.
Yeah, I saw them do an update. I thought it was an update. Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's 4K HDR. It doesn't look that good. It doesn't look good.
Uh-oh.
I didn't test it, but...
It's an enhanced game. It is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it looked worse
on my other console.
I don't know if it's 4K HDR, but it is enhanced for the X. So.
Yes. Okay. Well, there's that.
I think the thing that keeps me going on it is I actually like the open world aspect that I can kind of just when I'm not able to complete a mission or something, all right, I'll just go over here and attack this strike point, or I can do something else. And it's interesting because back in the day, I used to love just linear shooters, just walk through, shoot stuff. And I think this game has really brought forth the fact that I've really changed over the years. I really do prefer, I used to hate open world games, and now I really enjoy them because I can kind of go and do what I want.
Because that's all you've played this whole generation's open world games.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's...
They've got you used to it now.
Well, like Crackdown, I'm so excited for Crackdown 3. I can't wait. And
Yes.
I love that just I can go and do what I want and have fun or take different missions on. And I think that's why, right now I'm starved for something to do. I've kind of lost interest in a lot of things. We need, it's that drought that's kicked in.
You need God of
gaming.
War in your
So
life.
it's like, well, this is something, and it's something to play that's not the same thing. So
Jesus,
that's
funny
the
you
only
said
reason
that.
I'm working through it.
It's funny you said that because that's the only thing that's really that I've been
God of
able
War,
to play
man.
lately is God of War. It's like everything else. I try playing something else and I'm just like, nope,
Yeah.
I don't want to play this.
God of
Nope.
War feels like Tomb Raider had a baby with like Rise Son of Rome.
Tomb Raider, Rise, Uncharted.
Yeah, it's all in there, mixed in
Last of
together.
Us.
The Last of Us, it's all in there. Everything's in there. Like you could definitely tell that the Santa Monica team went over to the Naughty Dog team and said, "Hey, we need to borrow that climbing mechanic from Uncharted." And then they went over to the Last of Us team and said, "Hey, we need to borrow this kid,
partner AI thing."
this partner little kid mechanic in the game. We need that." So they took that from them. They went to the different studios at Sony and said, "Hey, we need to borrow this, and this," and they just put it all together, and it works.
Yeah, it works really well. Really, really, really well.
So good.
Believe it or not. Anyways, we talked
That
enough
sounds
about
that
God
sounds like Sony. No, not coming up with
Yes.
anything new or original,
Making the
just
same thing
borrowing
over
from
and over.
everybody else and
But
repeating.
it works though,
the same
man.
formula.
It's so good.
Well, like I said, they went to that developer who made, helped
Yeah,
make
but-
Bloodborne. So
For how long,
If we
Jesus?
make a game
How
with
long
this-
will it work?
For the entire,
right?
it's worked for the last 20 hours that I played of the game, so it's doing a
but,
pretty damn good
No,
job.
no. But I mean,
Jesus.
I mean, like, how many more games can they do that?
Easily,
with?
they
And
could do it with so many more games. I think they
I
got
don't know
the
about
formula
that.
down.
I don't
dude.
know about
they
that.
got the formula down. They could do it with a
You
lot
know,
of games.
I think it's funny how, what was it, just 6 months ago, Jesus sold his PlayStation,
I
talked
did.
about how much it sucked and how they're terrible and how every game is a repeat. They just reuse the same formula. And now it's like he's back and Xbox sucks. They got nothing. Sony rules. Everything they do is perfect. It's like, dude.
It's good. I changed my
now
opinions.
the Sony Move controller is the best controller out there
Best,
on the market.
best control.
Yeah, and then he got PSVR and played that for like 2 weeks.
It was
and
good.
hasn't touched it again since.
They need God of
Just
War and
like-
PSVR.
Just like I said would happen.
I'm waiting for that mega PSVR game that's going to come and hit this fall. They're going to announce something for it.
Keep waiting. You keep waiting.
Anyways, is that all you played, Wingman? Because I got
That's
a
it.
few more games here on my list. So, guys, I went back this week and I bought... Well, I didn't buy. I already owned Fight Night Champion. I installed it last night because I was like... It just appeared on there. I was like, you own this. Install. I was like, yeah, because I love Fight Night games, too.
And
I
Fight
miss
Night
them.
games were
Those the
awesome.
UFC
I
ones?
miss those games.
No.
No, the Fight Nights are better because they don't have the stupid grapples and the lay on the floor and hold LB and press Y. Like this shit is you punch with the stick. You
Punch
like
with
move
the
the
stick,
stick and
man, yeah.
and you feel the power when you like do a perfect uppercut. You boom, the dude hits him and it's like yes, and you make him bleed. It's so good. I'm playing the
Wait a
story
minute,
mode.
Jesus. Is that backwards compatible?
Yeah.
Or are you playing? That's
No.
the 360 game.
Yeah, it's a
right?
360 game. It just came out backwards compatible this week for Xbox One, the Fight Night Champion, the latest one that they made. And so playing it last night, I went into the story mode because the game opens up with you doing. It's like a Madden game where it opens up with the game already going, and then it tells you like, do you want to continue the story or do you want to go to the main menu? And I was like, no, continue the story. So I'm playing the champion mode where you're playing as Andre Bishop, this guy who got his career destroyed by like some dude set him up, sent him to prison, destroyed his life. Now he's doing like a comeback thing and he's going to get into boxing again, all this stuff. The story is pretty good. And I already beat it once. I know I have because I have all the achievements for it. But I'm playing it again and I love it, dude. The fighting is so good. It's just... You know you got 3 minutes and you can knock this person out, but sometimes you go down and you're like, oh fuck, am I gonna be able to get back up? And you gotta line up the sticks to get back up. It's so good.
I forgot about that lining up the sticks
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
The game is good.
Oh
dude.
man, those I wish the EA needs to make another one.
They
of those.
do.
It's been
I
a
really think
long-ass
they should
fucking
get rid
time.
of they should get rid of the UFC or maybe alternate between them. You know, just release
Yeah.
one year, release
Yeah,
one
yeah.
the next year, so you can keep both fan bases happy. I just think they noticed that the UFC has gotten a little bit bigger than boxing these days, but boxing is still a big thing, dude. You know, when you see big fights in boxing, the people that watch, it's ridiculous how many people watch these fights. When Floyd Mayweather fights against certain boxers, you see the people in droves talk about it, you know? So they really need to bring that back and just bring modern boxers into it. You know, bring the classic boxers, because they've always had the classic ones, and they had Muhammad Ali and all those boxers in there as well. Bring that back, EA. Such a good game. But playing that last night, it was fun.
How could they microtransaction that?
Easily the online,
Gloves,
the online,
or colored
yeah.
suits, or
Yeah.
They had an online mode for Fight Night Champion actually, and I was looking at that because that's, I think 40% of the achievements are for online, like defeat another player from another gym, knock out an opponent 5,000 times, play an online match against your rival gym, all this like other bullshit. I was like, the online was really hard in that game. I remember I tried it once and got my ass kicked, just like in any other fighting game. But I played PUBG last night as well, guys. I went back into regular PUBG. I was doing good. I got a few matches where I made it to like third place, second place on first person mode solo. And that game is good. I'm just excited for the new Miramar map, which comes out next week on the 24th. They've confirmed it. It is coming out next week, so stay tuned for that on the Xbox. But another game that I played this week was Laser League, and this is a game made by.
What is this like, man? I saw this.
I downloaded it.
It's made by 505 Games, so those are the guys who were published by them. They're the guys who published the Payday games and all those like weird games, you know, like random. They're like a B publisher, I would say, C publisher. They don't publish major games, but they publish all these weird like other little games, and they published this one, Laser League. It's okay. So there's
What do you do exactly? It's like teams of three or something like that.
Teams of three, but I've always played duos. I haven't played the 3 versus 3 yet. I've only played duos. I haven't jumped into the 1v1s or the 2v2. But anyways, so when you jump in, you spawn in, you pick a class. You can be a hunter, which has a blade. You can be a guy that has a shield. You could be a guy that steals orbs. And you could be a guy that becomes invisible, and you can go through the lasers. Anyways, you spawn in. You have like a top-down view of the screen. It's like in a big arena, you know, like all these, like, it looks like in Japan or something, because it's always like Seoul, South Korea, you know, Tokyo, Japan. It'll say where it's at or whatever. You spawn in, and these guys are like digital holograms. They spawn in, and you have to run around with your character, and like, there's these little bars that are running, like little, like they're like poles. They're in the game. They're going around the arena. You run into them, and it activates your color of laser. So it'll activate like a blue laser or orange laser. And like some of them will like shoot across the arena. Some of them will like just like block the entire arena off, and they'll start moving slowly towards the other area of the arena. But you can run outside of the arena. So like, let's say, you know, you have a square. You could, you know, there's a laser coming towards you from the front. It has the whole area blocked off. You can run backwards into the wall, and you come out on the other side of the arena. You know what I mean? So you can run into the walls and come out the other side or whatever. The opposite side of whatever you run into. It's okay. I played a few matches of it. I'm level 3 now, or level 2. It takes a lot to level up, and I've played against people that are like level 40. That's how like these people play a lot of the game. So I was playing against those guys, and they're really good. But it's just that, like, you have to activate these lasers to kill the other players, and whoever wins best out of 3 matches, you have to score 3 points to win the match, and it's the best out of 3. So, like, if you win the first 2 rounds, you win the match. If you win the first and the third round, you win the match, just like that. It's okay. It's not the best game ever. I'm kind of glad they put it on Game Pass, because this game would have gotten no attention had they not put it on Game Pass.
It being a multiplayer game too, it needs
big time.
Needs a player base, right? So
it does have like training modes and single player modes. I think I've seen those in there. I haven't tried them. I'm assuming they're more like training simulations or something like that. I haven't tried
I mean,
them.
if you bought the game for a single player purpose and went in and found that, you'd be pissed, right? Like,
but I like the premise, you know, this like arena fighter, like these people are, you know, like I said, the invisible guy, like if there's a laser coming towards you, you can activate his ability and he's able to go through the laser, you know, because he's invisible or whatever. He becomes like invisible. He goes through the laser. There's another guy that could steal the lasers. So like if you're running and there's a laser coming at you that's orange and you're blue, you activate his ability and it switches the lasers to blue. There's certain drops in the map or in the arena that drop that are like kind of like perks or abilities that activate once you step on him or once you grab him. And like one of them is like ultra mode or something where like it activates all the lasers that are not activated to your color. So they just automatically turns on all the lasers to blue. Like if you're, and you know, and it's really hard to like outrun them because you just have nowhere to run because all the lasers are blue. So you're like going to be dead right away. And there's like another one that like, it's like an ability where you steal all the other people's lasers. So like if there's a, you know, the other team has their side of the arena, it's orange and they're just over there hiding in their lasers. You can pick that up and it'll change all of theirs to blue all of a sudden, and then they're dead because they can't outrun them. So pretty much that's it. The game is called Laser League. I mean, if you have Xbox Game Pass, try it on there. Try for free. Don't buy this. I cannot recommend you buy this. Like you are going to be pissed off. I don't even know how much it costs. Probably $20.
So why even download it?
Just to try it. Maybe you'll like it. It's like a game. I think it's almost like Rocket League, where
if you're into those arena kind of games,
some people will like it.
But
some
it's a
people
top
won't.
down, right?
Yeah,
always top down.
Always top down.
It's more isometric, isn't it? It's
kind
not
of.
like straight
It's not.
top
It's not straight top down. More like it's like at a tilt. Yeah, you can kind of like. But I mean, the music is cool. There's that. And the announcers are kind of cool. They have all these character like profiles. You make your own profile right on there, and you pick like an icon for your profile. And there's all these pictures of like the people in the game, like the players or whatever, the contestants, and they're all Asian. they're all Asian. They all look like they're Asian. I'm like, why is there like no white people in here or like there's no Hispanics in here? Nothing. Like it's just all Asian. I'm like, okay, well I guess I'll pick this Asian person because they look cool. I guess I don't know. So
it's probably the highest top played game in Tokyo, right?
Probably. And once you rank up certain abilities, like you can get sponsorships from certain corporations and they'll provide you with better armor, better abilities, you know, so you can get maybe hit by a laser a little bit and survive. So there's that. Like I said, I played against level 40 players and I was a lot of playing against the same people over and over. I don't think they have a big player base. So yeah, check it out if you're interested in what I just heard. But some people, like I said, are going to like it and some won't. Like the people that like Rocket League and shit like that will like this, I think. If you don't like Rocket League or those types of games, you're not going to like this. It's just not going to be for you at all.
I probably won't. I'll probably try it, but I'm not a big Rocket League fan. Only because I cannot control that car. Probably just need to play it more.
For sure.
Be good like Clint Thiel.
And in other news, guys, I've had a big problem this week. I need to talk about this. Big problem. My Xbox One Elite controller is shit. It is shit. I will never buy another Elite controller from Microsoft again. Ever.
Why, what's wrong?
Yeah, yes, you will.
Look at this.
You're
Look
going to
at
buy
this.
the version
You see
when it
this?
comes out.
Just look at this.
Exactly.
Look at that. Look at that.
What the hell are you doing to your controller?
These RB and LB brackets, I've looked it up, and they say that these LB RB brackets are from the original Xbox One launch. They're the shitty ass brackets from the launch. They're using them on their Elite controllers, and people are having to replace these themselves because they're just shit brackets. And I contacted support and they're like, well, you've had it for 2 years. I was like, fuck you, man. I paid $150 for this shit. Like, your controller is shit. Look at this grip. It's coming off. I told them, like, you guys make shit controllers, dude.
Look. Nothing wrong with mine.
What the fuck?
Nothing.
What? How often do you use yours?
Mine?
I use mine a lot.
Nothing wrong
for
with
PUBG.
mine.
I use mine a lot too.
I use mine for PUBG all the fucking time. All the time. Dude.
My only issue is I have that wiggly stick.
Yeah, I have that too.
Stick.
Yeah, like this is a shit controller, guys. It is. I'm
Same
fucking
here, my
pissed.
right side.
Come
Right side's
on.
coming
No,
It's not
this
a
is
shit
it's a shit fucking controller. I went off on the mic because they were like, "Well, will you be considering purchasing a new one?" I was like, "Fuck you, no way." I was like, "I will never buy another one." I was like, "I'll buy your standard fucking controller."
Comes out.
I was like, "I'll buy your fucking standard controller, but I'm not buying another Elite controller." I told him, "Fuck you." I was like, "For $150 and your shit doesn't even last 2 years." My original day one Xbox One controller is still around. How the fuck is that thing still going? And my Elite has broken after 2 years. And mind you, I don't use it for every game. I use it for games like PUBG, Battlefield, shit like that. I don't use it for every single game. When I'm playing regular other games like Cuphead or whatever other game that I'm playing, Quantum Break, I will switch off to the other standard controllers. This is mostly for my multiplayer gaming, and it's fucked up, dude. And I even told the guy, like, how the hell is your RB button coming off? I was like, dude, what the fuck? And they're like, well, we apologize for any inconvenience. We're going to talk to our hardware team. I was like, yeah, tell your hardware team your controller is shit and use better brackets for the RB buttons and LB buttons. I'm just saying, it's shit. Your LB,
I don't know, like I said, Jesus.
Your
man, my Elite controller
watch
right here.
when your LB and RB breaks, you're gonna remember me. Just remember
fine.
that. Well, you remember.
Push them all day long.
Mine were
All day
just
long.
mine were just fine until the fucking thing came off. I was like, what? Because I kept pressing RB. I'm like, why is RB not working? When I'm playing PUBG or Battlefield to mark people, you have to press RB. I'm pressing it and it's not marking people. So what the fuck, Xbox? But you're right. I probably will buy the Elite version too.
I know you will.
And so will I.
Because I'm that dumb. I'll fall for their stupid. We added a new thing, and I'll fall for that stupid shit and buy it.
USB charging.
Yeah,
man.
something.
Charger controller.
Non-removable batteries. I'll fall for that dumb shit. But still, I'm so mad at them. I'm like, dude, like, it's 2 years. I even told the guy, like, my original controller still works. That's 5 years ago. I told him that's like 5 fucking years ago, dude. What
Still
the
works.
fuck? And it works just fine.
The box.
You're right. I haven't used it as much, but it still works. That's the point.
I get it.
Brink says you can fix that.
Bit of a stick.
Brink says you can fix that for $8, and I'm gonna do exactly what Brink said. I already looked it up, so I'm gonna go to Amazon. I'm gonna buy the new grips back here, and I'm gonna pop these off, put those replacements on, and I already looked up the RB LB bracket replacements, and I'm gonna have to buy one of those as well. That's like $9 or $10. And I'm gonna take this thing apart, and I'm gonna
Jesus.
Prepare
Just
it.
know that I had, thanks to Brink's recommendation, I did buy that blue faceplate. It kind of looks green in the camera, but it's actually a really pretty blue. So when I did replace those, which was easy, the grip on the right side is actually coming off on...
But I mean,
on
this
two
is
different sides.
these grips coming off, Gunny, are a common problem. It's because the way we hold them, and our hands are hot, and the glue just starts coming off of these.
Well,
fucking
is
things.
my right hand sweatier than the left?
It could be.
The
'Cause
left
mine-
one's fine.
My left is kind of coming off too, but my right is off. It's off.
I
like
guess you
it's-
now know which hand you use more
Yeah,
often.
you know what I'm saying.
I'm a left-handed person. What's going on?
But
Just saying.
but you can repair these yourself. They don't seem very hard to take apart. You just got to pop these off, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try to
Go to
repair
YouTube.
this
There's
myself.
a very easy video. It shows you
there is.
exactly how to take it off
So,
safely.
I'm gonna replace the brackets for the LB buttons, and hopefully replace the grips as well. And I should be back to good. But like I said,
Get
it's a shame.
replacement for the stick, like to make that not.
I could probably YouTube that as well. You could probably get a replacement for the whole thing, dude.
I assume there's something underneath that isn't
Yeah,
there
it isn't
anymore.
tight
that's-
down.
Yeah. My stick drifts every once in a while. It's the one that's loose. That's the only issues I've had with it. But other than that, it's been solid for me.
Yeah, but that's my problem with that controller. So yeah, I look forward to fixing it because it's shitty, man. I want to use it and I can't because it's all broken. Like I said, my RB button is like coming off, dude.
Well, Jesus, they're coming out with a version 2. Look for
I
it.
don't
in
give a
E3,
shit. I'll
and
buy
it's going
it.
to be so much better and more improved.
What, they're gonna have better glue for their grips?
I would hope
Where
so.
you can stick with the pack-ins that I've yet to have a problem with from
That's true.
Xbox One day one.
You don't have an Elite controller, do you, Wingman?
Nope, never bought one.
Imagine
I haven't had a need for one.
how mad would you be if you had your controller you paid $150 for did this? Fucking shit, did this. How mad would you be?
So that's
You'd
why
be
I haven't
fucking
bought
pissed.
one. Why buy a? I don't see the point of the Elite controller.
No, it's good.
This controller works enough for me. I love
and
it.
you do
as
an
it is.
Xbox
No.
podcast.
Hey,
I know.
You would think you'd be the first one to buy one.
He would.
Wing.
I thought he was going to at first.
$150, dude. I can buy 2 games and still have money left over. and I've got 4, 5, 6 of these friggin' regular ones around. Why do I need to spend $150 on another one?
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but I'm telling you, when I got my Elite controller, I fucking
Feels so
love
good.
it.
It's so good. It's just the weight of it. It's
Feels
metal
right. Yeah, it feels.
I would
more
hope so.
solid. It's
I would hope
rubbery.
you like it
until it breaks, Wingman.
until it breaks. Yeah, it's great until it breaks.
I mean, I guess, but like it's fine.
But yeah, I mean,
I've heard lots of problems about these Elite controllers with the sticks moving and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I've
you
had
know,
that. Had that.
I think Rob got one, or Brun had one, and I think his was doing the same. So
Yeah, I
it's
think
just like
done.
I've never had a problem like that with the standard controller.
Oh,
So-
I have.
and
Yeah, I did on the original
Stick drifting
Xbox
problem.
one.
what I gotta say though is these back paddles do come very, very handy when you're playing multiplayer games like Battlefield, even PUBG. Because with PUBG, I switch my guns with the Y back here, and I loot with the X on this one, and then the bottom two are the left and right on the D-pads, so I can switch the firing rates and stuff like that. That stuff becomes super handy when you're looting a house. You can just tap the X real quick. You don't have to move your thumbs. You just keep moving and tapping the X back there. You loot everything so quick. That's why people are always asking me, like, how the hell did you clear that house so quick, Jesus? It's because I'm looting with this Elite controller, man. Just get good, bro.
That's right.
That's not getting good. That's like
You're saying I'm cheating? You saying I'm cheating?
It's not getting good.
It's
You
good,
didn't
bro.
improve Yourself.
I improved the fuck
It's a
out of
piece
myself.
hardware.
I improved the hell out of my hands. They're super improved.
No, you didn't.
He enhanced his gaming
Yeah.
skills.
He went out and bought, super hands.
Yeah.
What I do remember, what is kind of funny you mentioned that, Wingman, because I do remember back on the 360, these things were bannable. Like, if you were caught using this on Call of Duty, like a controller with paddles, you would get banned from Xbox Live. And Call of Duty would ban you. Call of Duty would ban you for these controllers. And it's funny how Microsoft bought the company Scuff that used to make those illegal gaming controllers, and now they sell them. But I clearly remember back in the day with people having, like, they would talk about these paddles and how they were cheating, and I would be like, and I could see it because they would drop shot you and do things that you couldn't do with the regular controller as fast.
Yeah.
And then I remember looking them up back in the day, and sure enough, back on the 360, they were like $170, $200 for a controller. And then 5 years later, here comes out of Microsoft at E3 showing off a controller that has the paddles in the back. I'm like, that's cheating. I totally remember that, but you do have a point. It is kind of cheating. So, yeah.
And the thing is, it's not, then you get used to that and you're like, oh, I'm so bad I'm so awesome at this game, and
You play with
I've
the
got
regular-
massive skiles, and then I put a regular controller in your hand and you suck.
Yeah.
So it's not, you don't have the skills.
Yeah. I do.
And I mean, I don't need to buy it because I don't like competitive gaming. I like cooperative. So, this suits me
either
just
way.
fine.
Like, that's not what I use it for. I actually just like the way it feels in my hand. I like the weight of it. I like the grips. I like that the top's rubbery. I like, the whole feel of the Elite controller is really nice. The weight, is unbelievable.
It's like a metal controller. That's why it's not like a
Yeah.
plastic. It's metal.
It's heavy and it feels sturdy.
Don't get me wrong. I have looked at them in the store and I've picked them up. I don't think I'd like the paddles on them. I think that
I don't
would
even
annoy
use
me.
them.
See, I thought that until
But the
PUBG.
price,
I use it for Battlefield. Take that
it's
back.
the price that keeps me out of
Yeah, I
having
get that.
Wingman, if they come out with the new Elite controller and they all of a sudden say, the old Elite will still be on sale for $100, would you buy it?
No, I wouldn't buy the old one.
No.
Would you buy the version 2 if they announce it at E3?
I've
and
heard
basically
too many problems with the old one.
What about? Okay, maybe a little off topic. What about the new Duke? I mean, that's just like a giant, or is that just more of a
I
wrestling?
have no interest in that.
No
That thing's
interest in that.
$100 as well. It's like, for what? No way.
That's for people out in
and you have
the
and
reason
it's
it's
ported.
the reason it's so expensive is because it's got an LED screen in it. That's why.
That's
Which
it.
I can boot up Hunter
Doesn't
the
do
Reckoning and see the boot up screen
Exactly.
for the original Xbox. I don't need to buy a controller.
Yeah.
And I did never like that controller to begin with.
Me either.
Oh,
I have
shit.
small hands. Like I don't.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, I think we should take a break and then come back after the break, talk about some news like Call of Duty. We'll be back.
Messages. We'll be right back.
Vengeful Jedi here, Horrible Gamer and patron of the Horrible Gamers podcast. Want to give the gamers an XP boost? Want to see the show level up? Then support the Horrible Gamers on Patreon at patreon.com/Horrible Gamers. Don't be just another NPC, non-Patreon character. Become a patron. 2 gold, 5 gold, 10 gold, 20 gold. It all supports the party. So game on.
And we're back with the news and stuff. Let's talk, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that musical break, and we're going to get into some discussions real quick. The big news this week, the big reveal. Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Dun, dun, dun. So they had their big event, the 17th, which was Thursday at like, I don't know what time. It was like 10 a.m. or something, Pacific time. They had their big event where they unveiled their multiplayers and their zombie modes and their new mode called the Blackout. So first off, I don't know what your guys' thoughts on this are, but mine, I was not impressed at all. I was like, this looks like every other Call of Duty, a lot like Call of Duty Black Ops 3, except they just took out the wall running and the jumping on the walls and all that stuff. They just took that out. They took out the jetpacks and that's it. Like, that's what it looked like to me. The guns sounded like BB guns. They sound so shitty. when the guns are shooting, I'm like, these guns sound bad. I said that when Call of Duty World War II came out. The guns sound bad. They don't sound like a gun would sound.
Anybody else notice this with the gun sounds?
I'm sure Wingman does.
Mark,
Didn't
did
see
you-
the trailer.
Yeah.
but I mean in
World War
Call of
II.
Duty World War II, did you notice any different audio sounds different from the guns?
They sound more like pea shooters. They don't sound like it doesn't have the thud of a gun. Like in Battlefield, when you shoot a gun and you're shooting a big machine gun, it sounds like a big machine gun. In Call of Duty, the guns just sound like BB guns or something, like fucking Nerf guns. They don't sound as good. In my opinion, they don't. And I played those with headphones on. I played it without headphones on. They sound kind of like shit. And that's what they sounded like to me in the trailer for Call of Duty Black Ops 4. They unveiled the 3 new zombie modes as well. As we now know, they have one set in like Roman Empire, Gladiator, or something like that, where you are in an arena fighting zombies without guns. You're going to have melee weapons like swords and spears and shields. And so they have that now, which I thought that was interesting how they unveiled that. But on top of that, they unveiled 2 other zombie modes. One will be set on a cruise ship where you'll be finding zombies in hallways, cramped hallways on a cruise liner. And you have to do that. And there's another one set, again, I think it's from another Call of Duty. I'm not 100% sure which one it is, but it's another story from a previous Call of Duty, kind of like a classic zombie mode. And then, of course, they unveiled their Blackout. They didn't say much about Blackout. They didn't say what the player count was for their Battle Royale mode or anything for that matter. They did, in fact, though, say it is their biggest map yet, which doesn't say much because the maps of Call of Duty are not big. But they did say you can fit 15,000 Nuketowns in this map. Nuketown is like Nuketown is like a quarter.
Nuketown was tiny.
It's like a block. Yeah, like that's not surprising. But they also said
it's not that large.
They also said you're gonna have the ability to use land, sea, and air vehicles in the multiplayer mode called the Blackout. So, what are you guys' thoughts on all this?
It's
I don't
gonna
care.
fail.
I don't care at all.
No single player campaign. The reason they said they have no single player campaign is because they focused their narratives on the Blackout mode. The zombie modes are going to have more deeper stories. I guess that's what they focused their single player campaign on, was the zombie mode, because now you can play zombies by yourself and have AI partners instead of having like to play co-op with people or having to struggle by yourself to play the whole game by yourself.
Oh, I like that.
You can have now AI people that are going to be in there with you, fighting with you, alongside you, and you can set up like their what you call that? Like how good they are. You can make them really good, or make them kind of like okay, or make them bad, so you can be a little bit harder for you. So you can set the difficulty on that. So they have all these features now for Call of Duty Zombies, which was like I think their biggest. I think that's what they were focused on the most in this game, because the multiplayer added new classes. They now, instead of having you heal yourself when you hide behind cover, you have to physically press L1 or LB to heal yourself. You do not automatically regenerate health anymore.
Oh.
They say that this is a tactical change for the game to make it more tactical, to make it, I guess, harder for people to play or more competitive, because now
So I wonder if they're going to have like health packs, right? If I'm going to press L1 to heal myself, does that mean they're going to be adding some sort of healing system? We'll find out.
Yeah. And then of course they did say boots on the ground. That's their big thing. Boots on the ground. No more wall running or jetpacks. That was their big thing. Boots on the ground, guys. And yeah, I wasn't impressed by it at all. The engine to me looks dated as hell. It looks so dated. I'm like, how is it that Activision has not invested in a new fucking engine? They've made so much money on this game. Why not spend fucking $100 million to make a new engine? Why not? Come on, guys. Really? I just think it's shit that their graphics look like shit. Their sounds are shit.
Yeah, and I know the trailer's out, and I saw the link, but I didn't watch it.
You haven't seen it? The coolest trailer to me was the coolest one that I thought was the coolest was the trailer for the Call of Duty zombie cruise ship. I thought that was the coolest looking one, but I was like, still like, this is gonna be lame. I'm not into zombies. I don't give a fuck about zombies. I don't care about anything zombies. I don't care.
And Brink in the chat was talking about how 35% of players that buy Call of Duty only to play the campaign. That's a huge loss of the player base.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah. I think they'll still do just fine in sales. Of course they will. Multiplayer only game.
Of course they will. Of course, it's Call of Duty.
It's going to leave us 38% are those that just play the campaign.
Which is
I like the zombies, so. But I still want a campaign if I'm going to pay $60.
Now the key thing is, I think people are expecting Call of Duty to unveil the Blackout Battle Royale mode at E3. probably at Sony's conference because their marketing partner is Sony. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think the mode is even done. I don't even think. I think they have no clue what the fuck they're doing with that shit. They're like, I think the problem for them is going to be getting the player count. They're not going to be able to have 100 players in a map.
Yep. Exactly.
I don't think that's the thing. I think they just won't be able to do it. I think they're going to come out and say, like, we have 50 players in the map, and it's going to be faster paced than, like, Fortnite or PUBG. It's going to be a fast-paced battle royale.
Is this... I'm curious also why this wouldn't be, like, a separate thing, this battle royale thing. Why they wouldn't just go, hey, looking at this Fortnite and
sell it for
how
free.
It's free to play, and
they will not do free to play.
It's massive and it's huge, and we should do the same thing.
Because it's Call of Duty, it's easier to bundle it with the Call of Duty and sell it that way because you'll guarantee sales of copies when you do it that way.
You'll have a bigger player base, probably.
Yeah, and I just the thing what I think is they're not going to show the battle royale at E3 as people are expecting. They're going to get more multiplayer trailers or whatever. More zombie trailers. They're probably going to have the zombie mode playable there. But I think the people that are going into E3 expecting to play that game at E3, they're gonna be disappointed. They're gonna be like, this doesn't work. So yeah, there's that, guys.
Yeah, my opinion on this is I remember reading where they were working on a campaign and they were unable to get it done in time. But what I pick out of the story is that there's not a lot of people in their minds that play the campaigns, and everybody's on Battle Royale. I think they took that team and said, scrap the story, get Battle Royale in it right now. Yeah. So I don't think they're going to be able to handle 100 players.
Yeah.
Because they never have had large numbers in a Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
And you can say, well, it's because we want this certain style of game, but I think it's more of like what Jesus is saying. They can't handle it in their game. I think they will come out with like a max of like 50 people.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to be ready on launch day. I think and if it is, it's just going to fail because I don't think they've put enough time into it.
Yeah, I think they've pivoted way too late. I think they saw the success of Fortnite and they were like, we need to get in on that. And then it's just too late. Like at this point, they need to stay relevant. And
the thing is
too fast, too soon.
Call of Duty crowd, I don't feel, is a PUBG, Fortnite gamer.
They're not. No. Because it's more tactical.
These people that play Call of Duty rank up, unlock stuff. They have their equipment they go into battle with. They're not going to want to go into every match empty.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean? And it's like, because
they want their perks. They want their...
Right.
Yeah, they want all that, because that's what Call of Duty is known for, is having all these different perks on your weapons and on your grenades.
They're gonna have that in the Battle Royale mode. They're gonna have the perks. I think they're gonna have all that. So it's gonna be a weird type of thing. I think it's gonna be way too fast paced for people that play PUBG or even Fortnite to want to try. I don't know. We'll see.
I could see. I mean, myself, I love like the Call of Duty. The movement, the player character movement, that to me, Call of Duty has always been the best example of the way to do a multiplayer. I like the way the character moves, the way everything runs. It's real. To me, it just works. Like Battlefield, to me, feels clunky. Gears of War feels clunky. Call of Duty has always been smooth, fast, easy, just like Titanfall. Imagine that. It's the same guys. So I would love to have a Call of Duty Battle Royale. I think I would actually get into it. I don't play PUBG or Fortnite because, again, it's not really smooth for me. And it's just, this is like a way I play. So I would love to see this, but I don't think that they can pull it off. And I think they're going after the wrong crowd. I don't see Call of Duty people wanting to start a game where everybody has nothing. Because people build up. They've played this game for, 10 plus years? Where you rank up, you get all your best gear, and you go in and annihilate people. But I just don't see them flipping it where I can come in and start off the game just as powerful as someone who's a level 185. It's just because they don't have a gun either, and I kill them because I find a gun first. No,
I don't think that's gonna happen.
It just seems like it's the wrong crowd that they're aiming for. But
yeah, but yeah, I mean, apparently reports say that team at Treyarch only started working on the Call of Duty Battle Royale mode just last year.
Yep.
So the game has been worked on for a couple years now. So I'm assuming, yeah, you're probably right. They did scrap the campaign to add this in. They were probably like, you know what, you guys working on the campaign, stop that, and we're making a Battle Royale mode.
Yep.
So sad.
They're just chasing the money and not. Yeah,
Yeah,
I want it to be successful. I would love to see a Call of Duty Battle Royale that would
Be good.
I might be able to get into that, but at the same time, I just don't think it's the right mode for this game.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. You know,
We'll see.
we'll see.
Another
and
news.
I say they stick with what they know and what they do best and what their fans want.
Yeah.
And that's classic Call of Duty. Keep going with that. Send me to Africa this year, and next year send me to Iraq or
They're never
wherever
gonna
it
do
might
that.
be.
They never
But
gonna
keep
do
everything there. I want my perks and I want my character customization and
Will they have
I want
that
my zombies.
in the regular multiplayer mode? It's just like Black Ops 3, like I said, without the wall running or jetpacks. That's the only difference. Because it all
And
looks the
what
same.
makes it Black Ops 4?
The name. That's it.
It's
Just the name. There's
Stupid, they
nothing else that's Black Ops about it. It's just the name and
they
the
might
zombies.
as well call it Call of Duty's Flying Circus or something because
They could.
it's a meaningless title.
It might sell you
I
the
think they're
better.
going to have, you know what they're going to have, Mark, is just something like Call of Duty 4. Didn't they have these like co-op style missions that were not really a story? They were just missions, right? So I think they'll have Black Ops.
They did add a new feature to the game, though, guys. They added a new feature called single-player operations, where a player can now go into a single-player mission by yourself. You can do these like training missions that'll teach you the abilities of the different classes or operators, is what they call them, like Rainbow Six Siege.
Siege. They just ripped everything off from Siege.
Pretty much, yes. Yeah, I think they see the success of Rainbow Six and how they're still going strong even 4 years later, you know. And I think they're like looking at that game and they're looking at Battle Royale. They're like, we're going to just put the two together, try to do something. I just don't know how that's going to work. But yeah, that's their big new thing. They said that they didn't get entirely rid of the single player experience. You can go in there and play as an operator certain scenarios and learn their abilities. So, yeah. In other news, Battlefield 5 reveal will be next week.
Yes.
So get ready for that, guys. It's going to be exciting. So Battlefield 5, we're going to get to see what they have to offer. And I love how EA came out and said that they're not going to cut any corners or lose value in their game because they will have a full-fledged single-player campaign.
Right.
So
the campaign gone multiplayer game gets rid of the campaign, and the game franchise that was multiplayer gone single player now keeping their single player.
Exactly. This is like
so
the reverse.
But they'll both have Battle Royale modes.
I think Battlefield could do it much better than Call of Duty with the destruction, and they already proved that they could do big maps and large player counts
And lots of players, yeah.
So they're going to be able to pull it off, I think. Yeah, I think people are going to be thoroughly surprised of what. And I think when next week, whenever Battlefield 5 comes out with that, I think they're going to just show everything. I think they will show the Battle Royale mode. Damn, that is loud. So, yeah. In other news, Skull and Bones, the Ubisoft pirate game that you may have forgotten about, it is now more forgettable because it will not release until possibly March of 2020.
What?
Yes, the game has been delayed for a long time. They said it was going to release late 2019 to as late as March 2020. So,
Yeah,
that.
Doesn't surprise me because we haven't
is
seen
crazy.
an article,
Nothing.
a screenshot, nothing.
I'm thinking they saw Sea of Thieves and they're like, oh, fuck this. We got to make something completely different that they made, guys, because their game is not that good. Let's just make something different. But yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully that team is working on a little title that is one of Mark's favorite games, right?
What?
What's that?
The Tom Clancy's what's the
Oh no, I'm
like?
assuming that the Tom Clancy team is a whole different team than the team working on the.
You think so?
Yes, definitely.
Division?
Ubisoft is huge, dude. They're fucking
Yeah, I guess
insanely
I
big.
studios.
Yeah, they got studios all around the world, so I'm sure they have like the main studios working on Splinter Cell. And I don't even know that game will release this year. I don't think it will. I think it'll be a 2019 title. I think they might show it this year.
It'll just be announced, right?
Yeah. Because they still got to build up the hype for it, right? They can't just come out at E3 and say, "Oh, Splinter Cell, here's a trailer, and it's out in like 6 months. Goodbye, guys."
Hey,
no,
they could have been working on it this whole time. You don't know.
I'm sure they have, but I don't think it's done this year, and I don't think anybody wants to release against Red Dead. That's just what I don't.
Stay out of their way.
Fucking Rockstar just announces a game and scares the fuck out of everybody, and everybody's like, "What the hell do we do now?"
Even Call of Duty's launching in October.
Yeah,
which
so
is
like,
never done.
So, nobody wants to get in the way of Red Dead because everybody knows everyone's going to be playing that game when it comes out. And that's just crazy. In other news, Shenmue 3, the game that's exclusive, I think, to Sony, PlayStation, has now been delayed to some unspecified date in 2019. Before, it was supposed to release in 2017, which got delayed onto 2018, which is now delayed onto 2019. And I don't think Sony will be talking about this at their E3 conference because they already said what they're going to talk about at their E3 conference. So there's that.